Hey, lovely. Welcome to the Lovely Home Podcast, where I, your host, Evelyn, will help you refocus on feeling grace over guilt in your mind, life, and home. Are you tired of feeling like you're not doing enough? Do you wish you could have healthy routines and rhythms? Do you crave a clean and lovely home? Well, that's what I'm here for. We'll discuss how you can feel lovely with Christ as your foundation and how you can practically create rhythms that work for your body, your mind, and your home. I'm a wife, sister in Christ, homemaker, and the creator of the Lovely Home Planner. And God has called me to encourage women, point them back to Christ, and go about your home in a unique to you way. Are you ready? Grab your Lovely Home Planner or a journal, a pen, and something to sip on, and let's chat about all things lovely. Hello, and welcome back to another episode on the Lovely Home Podcast. If you are new here, I'm your host, Evelyn, and I'm just a girl who loves all things lovely. I love aesthetics, but I also love being goofy. I love being real, and that is exactly what you're going to find today here on the Lovely Home Podcast. We are going to be chatting today all about kitchen rhythms and routines. We're going to discuss how you can go about your kitchen in a way that is lovely, grace-filled, and guilt-free. And we're also going to discuss some real pain points that I have in my kitchen and how I chose to solve them. This is going to be a fun episode because we're going to discuss a lot of organizing tips and tricks, some of my favorite products, some of my new favorite habits. And honestly, when I was creating the outline for this podcast, I thought of so many different ideas. So if you would like to have a part 2 to this episode, please message me on our Instagram account, which is the Lovely Home Podcast on Instagram. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in because we got a lot to cover today. So the goal of this episode is to help you look at your home in a whole new way. We want to look past the mess, we want to look past the stress, and we want to address our home with lovely eyes. Today, we're going to be doing that by focusing on the space in your home that is probably the most used room in your home as a family, as a whole, your kitchen. Your kitchen is, oh my goodness, such a lovely and magical place. It's where you laugh with members of your household and with friends and with complete strangers sometimes. It's where you dance with your pets if you have them. It's where you stand like a flamingo and receive absolute zero judgment. And it's a place where people in your home, specifically littles, can feel comfortable enough to come sit at your feet. It's where you potentially pay bills, have hard conversations, you cry there, you laugh there, and guess what? I haven't said a single thing about food or cleaning yet. Your kitchen is so much more than just a space that provides food for people or a space for people to sit down. It's a safe haven for many, an escape from the cruel realities of the world, and oftentimes serves as a sanctuary to glorify God without even meaning to. I mean, think about it. Think about all the worship songs that you have sung in your kitchen. Think about the silent or not so silent prayers that have escaped your lips. If I asked you to think of a theological conversation that you have had in your home, I feel inclined to believe that a majority of you would have a memory or two of those conversations happening in your kitchen. One of the coolest conversations I ever had about God with my brother happened in a kitchen. Your kitchen is such a lovely place. If you're able, and if your season of life right now allows, I would like you to go ahead and walk to your kitchen right now and do an exercise with me. Regardless of how your kitchen looks right now, this exercise is for you. My kitchen right now has a bunch of stuff on the counters, and I also have dishes in the sink. We're going to talk about those dishes a little bit later, but I'm just letting you know my kitchen is not spotless. My kitchen is very lived in at the moment. So regardless of how your kitchen looks, you can still do this exercise. And you also don't necessarily have to be in your space right now. Like if you're driving, you're okay. Try to just use your imagination and remember what your kitchen looked like the last time you saw it. Okay, before we talk about the major parts of this episode, I want you to look at your kitchen, really, really look at it. And I want you to find something in it that makes you feel lovely. What is something you see that makes you feel lovely? What is something in your kitchen that fills you with absolute joy for no reason or for any reason. Maybe it's spilled milk on the counter from your toddler learning to pour his or her milk now all by themselves. Maybe it's a special piece of decor that you have that was passed down from your grandmother. Maybe it's your coffee pot because your coffee pot helps you start and get through the day. What is the lovely thing that you see? Once you find it, I want you to now move on to the next sense. Now I want you to strain your ears and see if there is anything in your kitchen that sounds lovely to you. Is it your fridge humming? Maybe your ice maker is going off. Maybe your dishwasher is running. If it is, you better go catch it. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Is there a clock ticking somewhere that's lovely? If you can't hear anything, maybe it's the silence that's lovely. But also, try to think of a sound that you can remember from your kitchen that makes you feel lovely. Maybe it's your husband's laugh or his off-key singing voice while he's washing the dishes. Maybe it's the sound of bacon frying or a candle wick burning. Maybe it's the sound of little kid giggles or your dogs barking or their claws like scratching on the tile. What is a sound in your kitchen that you know makes you feel lovely? Now, what is a taste in your kitchen that makes you feel lovely? Maybe you're sipping coffee right now. Maybe you're eating something from your kitchen. If you can't taste anything right now, try to remember a taste from a previous time that makes you feel lovely. Maybe it's sneaking in a chocolate chip here and there whenever you're baking cookies. Or maybe it's the taste of vanilla extract when it goes through your nose. Like, even though you know vanilla extract as itself, like, doesn't taste very good, the smell, like when you smell it and it goes to your taste buds, maybe that's lovely to you. Think of a memory of eating something that meant so much to you. Was it a birthday cake or your 1-year anniversary wedding cake? What is a taste that's lovely? All right, now, what is something you smell? Is there a candle nearby that you could light, or is it already lit? Or maybe you have some fruit you could cut up and make a simmer pot or munch on. Or maybe you have some oils or that you can diffuse, or some fresh air that you can let in through a window. What is a smell that is lovely to you and that you could be smelling right now in your kitchen? Lastly, what can you touch in your kitchen that makes you feel lovely? Maybe the cold counter or the running water from the sink, or maybe it's a soft kitchen towel or a sweet note on your fridge. What is something you can touch that makes you feel lovely in your kitchen? Now that we have listed and called attention to all your senses within your kitchen, how do you feel? Because what I know is that we just found 5 things in our kitchen that makes us feel exquisitely beautiful despite how our kitchen looks right now. And that was just one thing per sense. Imagine if you sat down and really took the time to think about everything that makes you feel lovely in your kitchen. You would be there for the entire day, if not more. If your kitchen is messy right now, give yourself grace. You've been doing a lot in this crazy thing called life. Celebrate your wins so far from the day. If you have littles, have they been fed? Have they been poured into? Great job, Mama. If you are a bride, have you made breakfast or packed a lunch for your husband? Or have you given him a hug or a kiss? Great job, beautiful wife. Despite how your kitchen looks right now, you're doing an amazing job. Rest in that, and rest in the loveliness that you're feeling right now. Even though our kitchens can help us feel so lovely inside and out, despite how they look, there still is a little person inside of us constantly asking the question, why is my kitchen always messy? Or, why can I never be good enough at keeping my kitchen clean? If you have said that last one to yourself, saying, why can't I be good enough by keeping my kitchen clean? Girl, cast that away. Cast that away. That thought is not going to help you keep a clean kitchen. That thought is going to make you despise your kitchen and despise the mess that's in it. So if you have thoughts towards your kitchen or towards yourself that attack your temple instead of build your temple up, which your body is your temple, your mind is your temple, then those thoughts will not serve you in a way that glorifies God. They will serve you in a way that pulls you away from God because you are attacking yourself, you are attacking your body, you're attacking your brain and your capabilities. Whenever God has declared you as new, God has declared you as clean, God has declared you as forgiven and grace-filled, because you are not your own, you were bought at a price, therefore honor God with your bodies. That is from 1 Corinthians 6:19. Christ died for you. Christ bought you and has declared you as free. So you are not your own, you were bought at a price. So again, if you are having thoughts about your kitchen or towards yourself that tears yourself down or makes you feel guilty, that is not from God, that is from Satan, and he's trying to get into your temple. Okay, so we got to cast it away. If you notice yourself starting to speak negatively towards yourself or towards your situation, like if you notice yourself starting to say, why do I always fail in my kitchen? Why am I always not enough? Or why can't I do anything right? Like if you have thoughts like that, call it out and turn them into thoughts that glorify God and tell the truth. Because let's be real, whenever you speak that way, it's just lies. It's just lies. So call it out, cast it away, and lean on the identity that God has given you and form affirmations around the identity that God has given you. Anyways, that's a little tangent that I just had to go on because, yes, always very important to talk about that. Okay, so before I went on this tangent, I was saying how despite how our kitchens make us feel, despite the loveliness that our kitchen is capable of giving us, we still often have this little person coming to the surface asking why our kitchen is always messy. And this little person inside of us has a desire to have a clean kitchen. Human nature was meant to work with their hands, and women specifically were meant to create homes and welcoming spaces. Tidiness has always been a thing. In Genesis 2, it says that the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. This was before sin entered the world, so we were always supposed to work with our hands. That, by the way, was Genesis chapter 2, verse 15, by the way. And then later in the same chapter, God says, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." So Eve was created, women were created, and women were meant to help men. And ways that we can help men is by creating homes for them to be able to rest in after they come back home from their hard work outside the home. So that was how it was done for, how many years? So many years. And within the last century, it has become more normal for women to take on being more of a career-driven individual and less of a homemaking individual, which every person that God creates is unique and different. And I think that is great. So by me saying this, I'm not trying to be like, women need to be in the home. I'm not doing that, but I am saying that throughout history for thousands of years, that is what it was. But with people nowadays, every person is different, every season is different. You may be more career driven, and that is beautiful and awesome and following what God has called you to do. Anyways, but all of that to say, Mylanta, there is a craving to have a clean home. There is a craving to have a peaceful home, and that is God-given. That's not given to us based off of what we see in the world or from influencers or from reading books or trying to compare our lives to other people. That is just a natural desire that each person is born with because we're born to work with our hands and create homes. If your kitchen right now is causing you a lot of stress, or if your kitchen is messy, or if you just don't even know how to go about your kitchen, first start with grace. Always start with grace. But also just remember that it's good to crave a better space. It's good to crave a lovely kitchen that can be tidy and clean and flows and works for you. So, here are a few questions that we're going to talk about in order to help you create the kitchen that maybe can better serve you and your family. We'll also dive into the science of keeping a tidy kitchen and just what can happen if you don't, and also why our brains crave a cleaner space. But before that, let's go ahead and talk about these questions. So I have 4 questions to ask yourself to help you understand your kitchen more and also help you just really create the kitchen that thrives for your personal life. Question number 1. What is the chaos in your kitchen? What frustrates you the most about your space? Maybe it's the lack of space. Maybe it's feeling like it's a constant mess. Write down what the chaos in your kitchen is. Maybe it's not organized in a way that serves you and your family. Write down what is the chaos specifically in your kitchen. And also, if you get to a point to where the list comes to a pause and you can't think of anything else, don't do the human thing where you try to create chaos out of nothing. Like, don't sit there and think, well, maybe this is chaos. Oh, maybe, or maybe this should be chaos. Don't do that. That's just creating problems out of nothing. Like, if your brain didn't immediately think of it, it's not yet chaos. It could potentially be chaos, but not right now. So, what is the chaos in your kitchen right here and right now? Next, I want you to ask, what is the calm in your kitchen? What is working well? What's lovely and serving you and your family? What is peaceful in your kitchen? Is there a rhythm that you have that you're really happy with, like unloading the dishwasher every morning or running it every night? Like, what is something that is working well? Always, always celebrate and acknowledge the good that is in your space, as well as what needs to be addressed. Our human brains will naturally go to the negative. It's just part of our sinful nature. So we have to be mindful and really recognize and celebrate the good things in your space. If you have something in your kitchen that is serving you well and is helping life move a little more peacefully, then that needs to be celebrated and you need to pat yourself on the back because you created that. That did not just naturally appear. You and your family did that together. All right. Are the chaotic things in your kitchen habits or physical things? Recognizing what's a habit and what's a physical thing is important because then you'll have a better idea of how you can address it. Identify the why to what is working well. Why is that working well for you? Why is it helping you feel more peace? How is it serving you? How can your why work with your chaos? Like, how can you take the why to what's working well and apply it to your chaos to help your chaos turn into calm? Can any of your habits change? Or can you think of specific rhythms that would be healthy for your kitchen space? If you have any questions on how you can build specific rhythms that work for your home and kitchen, I'd love to have more of a one-on-one conversation with you so that we can really dive deep and eliminate your chaos and solve this together. But only you will fully know your kitchen and what needs to happen and not happen in it. So it's going to take you wanting to do the work and you noticing the problems. Like, that's just how it goes. The next question is, so what goes? What are 3 things in your kitchen right now that you can literally make go away? Trash, toys, perhaps it's chipped cups or old food. Maybe your Tupperware is starting to look a little more rough, or maybe you have too much of something. What can literally go? And the last one is what flows. What are tangible physical things in your kitchen that work well for you? A favorite product or appliance, maybe your kitchen rug or a special organizer that you have. I want you to think about what flows. What are the good things in your kitchen that serve you and help life run more smoothly, but they're physical things and less systems that you have or less habits? What are the things, I guess? Okay. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to answer these questions for myself now so that you can see firsthand how it works and how it helps. Okay, so what is my personal chaos? Right now, my chaos is believing that leaving a couple things in the sink when I know there's space in the dishwasher for it is okay. Like, I will spend all day, not all day, but I'll spend the time to load the dishwasher to make my sink clear. And then I think, like, my go-to, my cue to seeing a empty sink is that it can be filled again. So that's a habit that I need to break because it's not a lovely habit to me. I would much rather keep an empty sink. I understand that that's not like tangible for everyone, but in my personal life, I would like to come home from work with an empty sink and I would like to go to bed with an empty sink. But my chaos is I have this habit that my cue is seeing an empty sink. My habit is thinking I can fill it up again. And then the action that I get from that habit is having a filled up dirty sink, even though I have a dirty dishwasher that I can put those things in. So that is something that is definitely chaos in my life right now, and I need to break that habit. That habit is creating more work for my future self, not helping her. And that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help my future self so that I can be her in a easier way, if that makes sense. Another thing that is causing me chaos in my kitchen is my home rhythm isn't being taken seriously by my whole household, including me, because I have a lack of communication. I know what I need to do. I know the work that needs to go into it. And like, in order for me to have better communication for my home rhythm to actually start happening amongst everyone, but I just haven't done it because of laziness and because I don't know why. I don't know why. Again, it's one of those things that it's hurting my future self instead of helping her. If I actually sit down and create the communication system for my husband and I to be able to practice this home rhythm together, that would just be so much easier. So I just need to do that. Okay, now we're going to go into what's my calm. What is my calm? Right now, my calm is my pausing station. My pausing station has helped immensely with the amount of clutter that ends up on my counter. Every now and then, I will still have stuff end up on my counter, and that's okay because, again, it's one of those things that my brain needs to have the capacity to create a home for the thing that I'm putting on my counter, and sometimes that capacity isn't there. But the pausing station is so amazing and for so many different things, not just clutter. It's also really good to help me go rolling into my after work rhythm and really good. Like, I have been so productive these last couple of weeks, and I honestly think it's because of the pausing station. I'm taking time to stand before my mirror, tell myself a couple affirmations, remind myself that I am safe, I'm home, and I'm able to move on to the next hard thing. Like, that is honestly, it has helped so much. So I highly recommend having a pausing station within your own home. Okay, another thing that is really working for my husband and I, which is kind of funny when you think about what I just said earlier about the home rhythm, is using dry erase markers on my fridge. You would think that would be like a great way to communicate my home rhythm, right? You would think. Anyways, but using the dry erase marker on my fridge has been so beautiful and lovely because when Nathan is heading out the door, sometimes he'll write sweet messages on the fridge. And when I'm there, I can write sweet messages too. And it's a really cute addition to our kitchen that helps it feel more lovely. Like, I look over, I see the note, and it just makes me happy. Another thing that is my calm is how my kitchen is organized. I love that I have taken the time to organize my kitchen in a way that serves Nathan and I together and helps all of our rhythms flow together. Like, there is nothing confusing about our kitchen to us, and there's not like a junk drawer, or everything has a place. It's so beautiful. I love how my kitchen is organized, and we'll talk a little bit about how I organize things later on in this episode. I already know this episode is going to be long. I'm sorry. Okay, other things too is something that really helps me in my kitchen that is just beautiful is choosing lovely things for each sense, kind of what we did at the beginning of this episode. But I do that in order for me to look forward to doing a hard job. So I will do the exercise that we did at the beginning of this episode where we go through each of the five senses. I will choose lovely things for each sense. Like I will think, okay, say I need to do the dishes. I will say, I want to see a clean sink. That will be something that I will find lovely. And I want to hear Hans Zimmer playing on the Amazon Alexa. That'll be lovely. I want to smell my kitchen candle that I have that I can easily light. I want to taste my special water that I make with my electrolytes. And I want to feel my kitchen apron. Okay. So it's something just as easy as that. Like you go through all five of your senses to help you plan what you want to do in your kitchen or with any hard task. And it is so beautiful. And it really helps you look forward to doing the hard job instead of resenting the hard job. Okay. My meal planning system. Y'all, this is long, so I won't be able to really talk about this for long. But I do have an episode about it that I will point you to. It is episode 14. Oh, wow. That was a long time ago. I'm going to have to redo that on another episode soon. But anyways, my meal planning system, brings me so much calm. It's so beautiful. You should go check it out if you haven't already. Episode number 14. I'll have it linked in the show notes also. Okay. Having a drink drawer. Oh, okay. You guys, I understand that every kitchen is different and a lot of kitchens may not have the space to be able to do this. But in our home, I really wanted to have a drink drawer. This is where I wanted my teas to be, my vitamins to be, my lids, my straws. I have it or anything that I needed like for the espresso machine, like the espresso cups, my tamper, different spoons. Like this, I'm going to take a picture of it and I'm going to upload it to my Instagram story because I don't know how else to explain it. But my drink drawer is a rhythm that works so well for Nathan and I, and it is beautiful and lovely and mwah, chef's kiss. I'm obsessed. And then also having kitchen hardware. You guys, having kitchen hardware has really helped us have more calm in our kitchen because now I can have the kitchen towel on the hardware and not like just thrown about the kitchen. It stays in one place. It's beautiful and I love it. It's also really pretty. Like I love my hardware. I love it. Anyways, this one is going to be a doozy. So y'all better buckle up. But this calm thing in my kitchen is one of the best and smartest things I've ever done in my kitchen and for myself. I recognize that it's probably not for everyone because it's low-key kind of insane, but this habit has helped me in so many ways, and I'm so excited to talk to you about it. I've been keeping it a secret for this very episode, but my habit and rhythm of doing slow cooker sunrise. Okay, y'all know I have a really hard time waking up in the morning. It is a struggle bus that I have to write on every single morning. I used to blare Hans Zimmer music in my ear, and somehow it would become incorporated into my dreams. I used to have an automatic light bulb that I would sleep through. I have had alarms go off outside the room so that it forces me to get up and go turn it off. Somehow that gets incorporated into my dreams. I have had the hardest time figuring out how to wake up in the morning, but this, and if that is you too, then this may be helpful for you as well. Slow cooker sunrise. The night before I go to bed, the night before I wake up, I will prep a crock pot. And this crock pot it can be for tomorrow's dinner. It can be side dishes. It can be dog food. I am going to be testing that in future days, making my own dog food. But anyways, what I do personally is I prep meals for the next week because Nathan and I have really been wanting to get into meal prepping, and I always said I never had time or it was too much work to do on top of all the other meals that I had to make. Little did I know that I could be cooking during the night. I mean, hello? Huh? So the night before I wake up, I will prep a crock pot with the meal that I will be meal prepping for Nathan and I will put it in the crock pot, and then I will turn on the crock pot the amount of hours before I need to get up. So 8 hours or 6 hours before I want to wake up, I will turn on the crock pot, and then I will go to bed. And then when I wake up, I am smelling, so I'm using my sense of smell, smelling food in the crock pot. That helps wake me up. I'm thinking I need to go turn the crock pot off, otherwise my food will burn. And that gives me a sense of urgency, which makes it easier for me to get out of bed because there's a purpose to me getting out of bed. I am excited because I just meal prepped for the entire week. Doing slow cooker sunrise has absolutely changed my world. It has helped Nathan and I start to eat healthier and spend less money on food. It has helped me wake up early and like have a purpose to getting up out of bed. It has helped me be able to be there for my husband more in the morning because used to I just like would sleep while he was getting ready for work and then I would just kiss him and he would leave. But now I'm able to like be more helpful and make breakfast and prep meals. Like, I am obsessed with slow cooker sunrise, and it has been the most amazing habit I have ever formed. Like, I kid you not. This is the best thing ever. Okay, so anyways, that is my calm. Those are things in my kitchen that are working really, really well, and I'm really proud of. So again, yes, you want to acknowledge all those good things in your kitchen so that you can become more excited about diving into your kitchen. Now, the question, what goes? What 3 things do I need to literally have leave my kitchen? Number 1, coffee grinds. Coffee grinds. Your girl loves coffee. Your girl loves making coffee. Your girl loves the smell of coffee. But you know what she doesn't like? Coffee grinds. And you know what she has a lot of? Coffee grinds. Because I have a grinder right by my espresso machine, or when I'm making my espresso, I literally I make such a big mess. I'm so good at making messes. But coffee grinds, that needs to go. How can I make sure that that goes? I'm going to start keeping a trash can underneath the cabinet, like in the cabinet underneath my espresso machine. By keeping that trash can there, whenever I go to like dump out the espresso grounds from my espresso pod, I can just dump it straight into that trash can. And I'm going to keep a rag up on top of the espresso machine. So then after I'm done, I can quickly take that rag, wipe it on the counter, and dump all the grinds into the trash can. That is going to be how I solve my coffee grind problem. Number 2, party and special occasion dishes. Party and special occasion dishes are beautiful and they're amazing to have, but I truly believe they do not belong in your kitchen. They are dishes, yes, but they are only used how many times a year? So if you do not regularly use a dish, it should have a different place. That is my belief. Again, every home is different. If you have a different belief, you should follow that belief. But for me personally, I need to take out all the party and special occasion dishes from my cabinets so I can free up space and put them in a bin and move them into the garage. That is the plan. I've already actually done that, and now the bin is just sitting in my kitchen, and I just need to put it in the garage. But, well, one thing at a time. The third thing, spatulas. I have way too many, and I don't use hardly any of them, so they just need to go. Okay, now we're going to talk about what flows. What flows in my kitchen? What are physical, tangible things that help my kitchen flow? Using a large spice organizer in my fridge for bottles. Like, this flows so well, and it has helped me have so much more space in my fridge. It's beautiful. And I see everything, and I know exactly where everything is, and it's just beautiful. So yes, I'll link it in the show notes below, but I found like an extra large spice rack thing. Like, and when I say extra large, I'm not talking about width, I'm talking about depth. So it's bigger and it's able to fit like a can versus a little tiny spice jar. So anyways, I bought one of those and I put it in my fridge and it has been amazing. So using that for my fridge for bottles is a way that I organize my fridge, and I'm just yes, it's amazing. The other thing that I do in my fridge specifically that flows and like is a physical item is a Lazy Susan on the skinny shelf that I have in my fridge. So I feel like not every fridge has this, but in my fridge there's this shelf that's really skinny and can't actually hold a whole lot, but it is a great spot for like jars. And so I put a Lazy Susan in there so that I can see all the jars. And it's just, I've done that for years. Like that has worked really well, really, really well for me. It maybe one day won't work And when that day comes, it'll go out of my fridge, and it's easy as that. Okay, another thing that's a tangible item that flows and works really well for me in my kitchen is using those bamboo drawer dividers. Like, they kind of like just squeeze into your drawer instead of using like physical organization bins that you can buy that are sometimes wonky shapes and don't all fit together in your drawer. I really love the bamboo dividers. The bamboo dividers have really helped my kitchen drawer situation, and I use them in my baking drawer and my cooking drawer, and they just work really, really well. Again, if you want to see any of this, I will upload it to my story, and I'm excited for y'all to see how I organize my kitchen. Okay, another thing that works for me that I don't actually like I understand that it works for me, and I understand that it's a season, and I know that one day maybe it won't bother me, but whatever. So this is something that works really well, and it's keeping the base of my blender on the counter. Like, it's so ugly. I would much rather it not be there, but it makes more sense for Nathan and I to have the base of the blender on the counter because we use it 2 times a day. And having to pull it out from the cabinet 2 times a day seems unnecessary and more work. So just leaving it on the counter works a lot better for us personally, and that is something that future me just has to be okay with until it no longer works, and then it can go back under the cabinet. What matters is that it has a place in case I need to move it. That's what matters. It can be out on the counter or it can be in the cabinet, but right now it's going to be out the counter. Okay. Another thing too that's a physical item that works really well for me is my dishwasher magnet. This has been a game changer for my marriage. I love it. It tells me when the kitchen is clean. No. It tells me when the dishwasher is clean, and it tells me when the dishwasher is dirty. And I love that. You may not need that, but it has worked really well for Nathan and I, and it's great. Okay. So those are the 4 questions, and those are how I answered them personally. So now I want you to go through that exercise. Grab a notebook, grab a pen, and I want you to do that for your own kitchen so that you can get to know your kitchen and figure out what needs to change and what to celebrate. When it comes to your kitchen, you have to be okay knowing that the whole room is like a rotisserie chicken. It's just chilling out in an oven all day, constantly spinning. And at the end of the day, the workers will take out the chickens and they will turn the rotisserie oven off until they use it the next day. So if you're wanting a showroom kitchen, you need to travel outside of your home to find that. I mean, I'm just being honest. Your kitchen in your home will always be open. It'll always be that little chicken that's spinning in the rotisserie oven. But at night, when you are sleeping, that is the only time your kitchen will be closed. That's the only time the rotisserie chicken oven will be turned off. Showroom kitchens are meant to be looked at, not lived in. But your kitchen, your beautiful kitchen, is meant to be lived in, and it's meant to serve you. At this time in history, our kitchens have never been more at rest. Like, we have so many appliances that help us just be able to rest in our kitchens, and our ability to be able to just go out and get food. I mean, that was not something that people could just do in the homes of the generations before us. So take a minute and just show gratitude and be thankful that your kitchen is the most quote unquote showroom ready than ever before in history. But your kitchen, your little rotisserie chicken still needs to spin. You still need to live in your home, and it's always going to be on a constant, like, little cycle of being clean, being dirty, being clean, being dirty, being clean, being dirty. But at the end of the day, you are able to turn it off. If you choose to. If you choose to turn off your kitchen, you will be able to actually stop spinning. And isn't that lovely? Your kitchen could be a showroom kitchen when you go to bed, and it will be a showroom kitchen the next morning when you wake up. And then you'll be able to turn on your oven and start spinning your chicken again. Anyways, I hope that analogy is helpful. Another thing too that could also be helpful is remembering that your kitchen sink is a tool. It is not a home. I need to remember this because right now I have a habit of thinking that my kitchen sink is a home for things instead of a tool to help clean things. So remembering that it is not meant to have dishes live in your sink. It is meant to help you be a traveling place from dirty to clean. Little random tidbit there. Okay, we have been fed expectations that tell us our kitchens need to be spotless. We have been taught to believe that it is a sin to go to bed with dishes in the sink. We have been led to believe that we shouldn't have anything on our counters. But who's the boss? Whose kitchen is this? Is this Martha Stewart's kitchen? Is this Joanna Gaines' kitchen? Is this a Netflix show set kitchen? No. Who's the boss? Whose kitchen is this? Who gets to choose how your kitchen is run? Who gets to boss around your kitchen and have it serve you exactly how you want it to? You. You're the boss. So take control of your kitchen with confidence and remind yourself that this is your space. This is not the world's space. This is not Martha Stewart's space. This is your kitchen. This is your rotisserie oven. You choose when to turn it on and turn it off. And at the end of the day, what I say or what any influencer says or whoever else has bended your ears doesn't really matter because it's your kitchen. Copy and pasting what other people say will only lead you to feeling personal guilt and will only lead you to tearing down your temple and will only lead you to feeling discontentment. But taking control of your space, being the boss of your space, grabbing that bull by the horns and showing it who is boss is what will create grace-filled change. Now, this is not an excuse to never clean your kitchen again or not aspire to have it be a clean and easy space. No, there are plenty of things that we can point to in the Bible and through science that show that taking care of your space and keeping it tidy and well kept will be more beneficial and helpful to us versus living in a mess. And here are just a couple that come to mind from the Bible specifically. Proverbs 14 verse 1 says, "The wisest of women builds her house, but folly with her own hands tears it down." So whenever you choose to ignore what needs to be done and when you choose to rest in laziness instead of resting in grace, then you're tearing your house down and it's not going to be a livable space. But the wisest of women builds up her home. She pours into her home. She creates a lovely home. That is what the Bible is saying. And then also in Ephesians 5:15 through 16, it says, "Look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best of the use of the time, because the days are evil." The days are evil. We all know that. We all know that because every single day we wake up and prefer to do evil, right? Like we prefer to be lazy. We prefer to not pour into our homes and do the hard things. We'd much rather please ourselves by following what is the easiest thing for our brains to do, which is usually nothing. But God says, "Look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of your time because the days are evil." Make the best use of the time, girl. Make the best use. Boss your kitchen around. Okay. And then also in Proverbs 24, verse 3, it says, "By wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established." You have to understand your home in order to establish it. You have to get to know your home and fill it with rhythms that make sense for you and your family in order for it to be established. If you're trying to build a home and filling it with routines that other people have built for themselves and their personal homes, it will not be established because it's not working for you personally and for how your brain personally works. Okay. Proverbs 24, verse 3 was that verse. Also, if you have a lovely home planner, you are probably familiar with that verse because that is the verse that rolls you into the home portion of the Lovely Home course that we have in the Lovely Home Planner. Okay. So Now we're going to talk real fast, and I mean real fast because your girl's been talking your ear off for a really long time. We're going to discuss some science things that have to do with your kitchen. Whenever your kitchen is cluttered and gross, it actually stresses you out more. We all know this. We know this from firsthand experience. But it is because your brain prefers cleanliness and tidiness. Your prefrontal cortex is able to manage your mind better, manage your decisions better if things outside of your brain are tidy and well kept. If your brain is stressed out by what it sees, then your amygdala is starting to flare. And if your amygdala is flaring, then your hippocampus and your prefrontal cortex cannot work in the best way. They can't. Because when your amygdala is going off, like the little alarm bells are going off, your hippocampus is unable to recall memories or is super foggy, like it's not able to easily retain information or remember information. And so whenever have clutter in your space, it stresses out your amygdala, and then your amygdala goes into like foggy mode and weird blank mode, and your body doesn't really know how to respond because your hippocampus isn't working properly and isn't able to communicate with your prefrontal cortex what needs to be done. And it's a crazy thing. So yes, there's also a cajillion things that can happen in your kitchen if it's not well kept, like health-wise. And if you are interested in learning more about that, then you can listen to our podcast episode 35 as well as our podcast episode 29. So 35 and 29 are all about a bunch of different motivating home cleaning hacks that might gross you out because they're more science backed and talking about what the filth in your home does. So if you are in a space where you can and are interested in hearing those things without tearing yourself down, go and do that and listen to those episodes. If you are in a space where you know that you're just going to tear yourself down if you listen to those podcast episodes, don't do that. Don't listen to them, but just do the lovely rhythm exercise with incorporating all 5 of your senses and start diving into the questions that you are needing to answer in order to help you to get to know your own kitchen. All right. So this was today's podcast episode. It went so incredibly long. I'm so sorry. I would love to hear your thoughts in a 5-star written review. If you are interested in leaving one, I would absolutely love that. And also, I would like to hear what you think about my slow cooker sunrise hack. And if you start doing it, definitely let me know so that we can talk about it and geek out about it together. All right. It is now time for a would you rather question. Would you rather be there in the Bible when Adam and Eve sinned for the first time and like had to go through all of that? Or would you rather be in the Bible at the time of Jesus' crucifixion and having to see all of that? Oh boy. I just got like a really like spiritual like weight thinking about that and just how insane it would actually it like obviously I think it would be cool to be at the Genesis part where Adam and Eve are having to learn how to live in a world that is sinful. But I think being there at the time of the crucifixion would be so powerful and hard. Like it would be really hard to watch. But as a Christian who knows what happened after the fact, I would love to see that. Not him necessarily, but I would love to hear his voice crying out, saying, Lord, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Or hearing him cry out, it is finished. Or seeing the sky go dark and everyone just has that uh-oh moment, where they realize that they just crucified the Son of God. And I would love to be able to see all of that while also knowing what we all know now is that he rises in 3 days, Like that would be really, really cool. I think that's what I would choose. What would you choose? I would love to know and I'd love to hear your thoughts. So you should definitely message me and let's have a chat. Okay? Let's have a chat. And if you would like to dive deeper on your specific kitchen rhythm and let's talk about ways that you can create a kitchen that flows and serves you better and one that you feel more lovely in. And also, if you would like to really talk about how you can go about building up your temple now, I would love to chat with you one-on-one on a Lovely Rhythms call. So you should definitely get one booked with me. Once you purchase it, I will send you an email and we will get your date on the calendar and we'll discuss and have one of the most beautiful conversations ever. Like, it is going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time. Okay. I hope you know that you are lovely, and so is your home, and thank you so much for lending me your ear today. I know I talked your ear off. Did you enjoy today's episode? What was your favorite part? I would love to hear about it on a Lovely Rhythms call, as well as discuss with you how you can create lasting rhythms that work for your body, your mind, your menstrual phase, and your love languages. You can book your Lovely Rhythms call right now at allthingslovely.co. And if you've just run out of note-taking space, I highly recommend you checking out the Lovely Home Planner while you're on the website. This undated planner can help you create rhythms that are founded on grace instead of guilt, and is filled with encouragement specifically designed by me for Christian homemakers. It would be such a gift if you left a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts, as well as leaving a 5-star rating on any of your podcast streaming platforms. And if you want to know a way that you can encourage another sister in Christ, go ahead and send them this episode so that they can begin their journey in feeling more grace and less guilt in their mind, life, and home. And lastly, I want to know you're listening. So take a screenshot, upload it to your Instagram story, and tag us at Lovely Home Podcast. Know that you are lovely, and so is your home, because of what Christ has done for you. And I look forward to talking to you again next week on a Lovely Home Podcast. Goodbye!